Good afternoon, everybody. This is Diggs. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest. Today, we're doing a little bit of a different video. Usually, I do guide videos, tutorial videos, but I wanted to show off my clear video for Trials of Reckoning Hard Boss because I'm really proud of it. I was able to get an 8200 auto score, and I was able to do that by chain cap finishing with Shiva for the overkill damage. I know there's other people who might be able to do better than me. I just think this is great, and I had a lot of fun doing it, and I wanted to show it off a little bit. All right, we're going to go ahead and go over kind of the specifics of the composition here in just a minute, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how we do first. As I said, kind of the key part was actually the chain cap finishers, what I was having problems with. Now, one of the biggest problems I was having was capping damage. And the reason I was having problems capping damage is because I was in a situation where Auron would be finishing, and because of how the AI functions in the game, you are gonna be running into a situation where if they can kill it with a regular melee attack, they will, because that's how the AI is programmed. So I needed to figure out a way to have the auto AI chain cap finish to get a high finishing score. And the way that I figured out how to do that was with the Shiva Esper. I was originally testing with Bahamut, and that wasn't working. We actually did the testing live on stream, but someone suggested using Shiva, and I had talked about using Shiva in my own video, but I didn't have resonance on Yuna yet. And so we switched it up to Shiva, and oh my gosh, did it make the difference. So we're coming up here. We usually get about 8200. The only thing that stops us from getting 8200 is if the counter actually really procs on Yunalesca and Auron does not dispel it in time. That's about the only thing that stops us from getting an extremely high score. And usually, even if the counter does go up, we get about a 7900 still anyway. So you can see Laswell's gonna hit here, and you can see it just comes in time for the chain finisher with Yuna utilizing Shiva. And of course, you know, the pretty animation's not gonna go off and the game's gonna be like, oh my god, I'm freezing on you. But you can see that chain finish with 11,999 damage, which is absolutely like, when this actually happened, I was like, oh, this is amazing, right? And I know you can get over 8,200 relatively easily with, you know, manualing your composition and doing it. But for me, I did not want to manual this at all. And I wanted to manipulate the AI to get to like auto and give me a reasonable score. And when I first set out, you know, I was getting like 7,200 and I was happy with that. And it wasn't until I was on stream one night and we were fine tuning and adjusting the composition where we actually made this work, because we noticed Yuna was using Bahamut and evoking Bahamut on quite a regular basis. For those of you that are interested in kind of following up with this composition or using this composition as well, I'll go ahead and go over what is basically turned on and off. These are kind of my passives. You can see Laswell has 83. Basically, Laswell has everything still turned on. I don't think I turned anything off. It is important to turn off every other Esper, though, in your composition, because your other units will utilize Espers and it will cause problems for you. I actually sub-pugilist on Auron because I've been experimenting with sub-pugilist on him. And one of the ways that I was able to maximize kind of my agility was with the Guide of the Story. Important note here, I do have Auron's Limit Break leveled up, so he does get more defense penetration, and Yunalesca does have 15 defense. So while it's not a lot, getting almost 40 defense penetration onto Auron is going to help him deal just that little bit more amount of damage. For Auron, I did have to turn off almost everything except for Banishing Blade, which is 2-hit attack, and Heaven's Fall. Tidus. So the thing with Tidus, and I think a lot of people don't realize this, is a lot of people just have Tidus spam quick hit, which lowers the enemy's CT. This is a bad idea because you're not putting Delay Buster on, which is slow on the opponent. So I don't understand why a lot of people aren't utilizing Delay Buster. My Tidus has max faith right now, and he lands Delay Buster 100% every single time. So something that I'm thinking about there, I have all his abilities turned off except Delay Buster. Also, an important note about Auron's position. Any unit in the second slot will be able to buff with bells, with Uldoa's apron. So as long as the skeleton is dead and they don't have a long range attack, you can actually put a unit with bells in slot 2 and they will use it. Yuna has everything turned off except for Limit Break and Sonic Wings. Now, a couple people said leave Enhanced Holy on. I like Sonic Wings because the way that the agility is tuned, Yuna's turn comes directly after Yunalesca takes an attack, which means that Yuna's not going to interrupt the chain, and it's going to delay Yunalesca to extend the chain just a little bit more. Gilgamesh is an interesting one because Gilgamesh, I do have Kotetsu on, and you need to be careful because if you have Excalibur on or Frostblade on, it's possible he will use both of those as well. Also, given the position that Gilgamesh is in, he will actually use Uldoa's apron, but it has to be agility tuned so that Laswell and Yuna move ahead of him and block him. Otherwise, he will move forward and melee hit. So the way that I was able to get Gilgamesh to use Uldoa's apron on a pretty regular basis had to do with utilizing the slot 1 and the slot 4 units and how they move in order to block Gilgamesh from being able to do that. So you have to finagle it a little bit. I found some situations where, like, if, for example, Yuna did not do something right away, right in the beginning, it would just kind of completely like check off Gilgamesh's AI and he would just go bonkers, right? And then, you know, it would never go off. So lots of things to test here. I hope this video is cool and you guys enjoy it. I just thought it was really cool to actually chain finish and utilize Esper summons because I feel like this is something that you don't see very often. Anyway, everybody, have a great rest of your day. I'll be on stream later tonight. I hope to see all of you guys there. As always, you can support me at dig.gs/coins. And yeah, have a great rest of your day.